Mocha here, and I wanted to jump on and talk a little bit about what do I do as a furry. I made videos, or a video previously, and I've made videos over on my TikTok about what a furry is and what people do in the fandom. But what do I do personally? Because I've spoken about not really participating in certain parts of the community. I'm not really a raver, I don't make music. I don't really dabble too much in terms of like furry literature or furry games, anything like that. So I have my own kind of experiences and what I do in the fandom. Now this channel, of course, is a little bit of a giveaway. I'm an artist. I do art. And that is primarily what I do in the fandom and have done for many years now. I do a variety of art. I do yarn and felt crafts, I do glass engraving, I do digital art, sticker making, pin making, badge making, pretty much everything. I am just an artist all round. It's something that I really enjoy. And a lot of my art tends to focus around my characters and sometimes my partner's characters. Of course, I do commissions, and I, of course, will do commissions of people's characters as well. This has meant that I've done a few story-like commissions. I've done a few comic commissions previously. I've done NSFW commissions for people in like a comic style. I've done specific images for people's stories. So I've done a wide range of art. But what else? Yes, I'm an artist, yes, that's my passion, but surely that's not only what I do. And truthfully, it's not. You've all probably seen my fursuit Mocha, and I love fursuiting. A little bit about fursuiting and my fursuit in particular. Mocha and Keegan are the first two suits that I made together. They're the first fursuits I ever made. They were made kind of in conjunction to like one another, so they were both made around the same time. Hence, they're a little bit scratchy because I had no idea what I was doing. I really love the process of fursuit making. I would love to make another fursuit eventually. I would love to make one of my character P. Unfortunately, that just takes time, money, and effort that currently I don't really have, plus space. Fun fact and a little bit of a tangent, what you can see in the camera is pretty much my entire workspace. I do not have a lot of room. The cabinets behind me are storage for the entire house, so no, they are not storage just for me. They have a lot of stuff in there that belongs to my partner and his family. So I don't have a lot of room to make another fursuit. But I would love to make another one eventually. Outside of making them, I do dress up in them and I do run around and do silly things. I love just getting to goof around and be myself in suit. I'm not someone who would say I do a character or anything in suit, because for me, I'm autistic and I tend to kind of just present as me and struggle to really do anything else that isn't myself. I do tend to open up a little bit more, and it does help my confidence being in the suit, because I feel like I'm not worried about having to look or sound right in social interactions and whatnot, so it kind of helps. Often if I'm suiting, I'm running around, I'm taking photos, meeting people, talking to people, pretty much doing anything I want to. I've got tons and tons of photos and videos, me at conventions, me at local meets, me at local events, me just going out and wearing it. I am hoping that eventually I can take it out and wear it a bit more outside of events and things. Unfortunately, due to some health things, I made my suit, had 6 months where I was working non-stop and then became sick. So since I made her, I just haven't had the chance to wear her at all. I would love to go out and just take photos more just by myself, just for fun, really. Which is a common question that I have been asked, particularly by normies, is like, what do you do in them? It varies person to person. For me, my experience with it is I just like running around, I like looking cute and being a giant dog in a big carpet. So that's a little bit about me and fursuiting. It's not really the main thing that I do in the fandom. That would definitely be art, but when I get the chance, I love dressing up and running around. It is a little bit hard, you do have to get used to it. I vastly underestimated how hot they would be, particularly in a country like Australia where I think it's currently 30 degrees. It's hot. And you think that you're okay, especially when you have like a partial like mine is. You think, oh, all my skin's exposed, like it's fine, it's just my head. You will get hot really quickly. Even if you think that you're someone like me who doesn't overheat easily, you will. Take that as a warning. You get hot really easily, and if you're someone that, like me, who doesn't like having like the feeling of sweat on their face, prepare to have sweat all over your face. You will have that nice juicy mustache of sweat if you fursuit for too long. So that's a little bit just about the backside of fursuiting. It's not all fun and games. There are risks involved in fursuiting, and it's not always pretty. Sometimes underneath the suit, that poor suitor is melting. Now, something else about me, which I talk about occasionally, is I actually do conventions and event work. So in Australia, we don't have many furry conventions like there is over in the US, but we do have a few major conventions, such as FurDo, West Australian Fur Fest, or WAF. There's now MCC, and there is Sydney's based Aurawra. And fun fact about me is that I am the charity team lead for Aurawra. So that takes up a lot of my time in the fandom. I spend a lot of time organising, going to meetings, doing work, paperwork, liaising with charities, organising, taking like people's, the way that a charity auction works is people give us items, I have to organise taking them, how we're going to take them, doing Google Forms for that, all of the back end work. And that takes up an awful lot of time, and I love it. Genuinely, if you have the chance to work in any kind of convention setting or any like event setting, whether that's just as like your local group's admin to help facilitate meets and things, or if you're like me and you work for a convention, I genuinely highly recommend. Not only has it given me the opportunity to go to conventions, thankfully I get free admission for all my hard work. I've met some wonderful people. I've had the chance to work with awesome charities. In 2024, we raised 2024. I can't read numbers. I have dyscalculia. We made this amount of money for Sydney Wildlife Fund, which is a rescue in Sydney that mainly helps things like bats. In fact, we raised so much money that the charity so kindly named a bat after us, and this is little baby Aurawra. So I've had the chance to not only involve myself in the furry fandom and in the community, but in like the wider normal people community. I've had the chance to raise money for good causes. I've had the chance to meet awesome people like the people who run Sydney Wildlife. But even within the community, the people I have met are absolutely wonderful human beings, and I genuinely love them with my whole heart. Thanks to them, I have grown a lot of confidence. I was kind of thrown in my first year, forced to do public speaking. At the time, I had not done any public speaking since I was in school about 4 years prior. I found out like a week before the convention, you have to talk in front of everyone at our opening ceremony. And honestly, just having that, like being thrown in the deep end and going, oh, I have to do a speech. I haven't done this in years. It gave me a lot of confidence. And yes, there is a bit of a mess up, mostly technology side. Technology, of course, hates us, but it really gave me the opportunity to learn, problem solve, and just get over the fear. I didn't have a choice whether or not I, was there. I didn't have months or tons of time to sit there and go, oh my god, and like work myself out of doing it. I kind of was put on the spot, and because of that, I was able to just go, you know what? We have to get this done and get over that kind of anxiousness and that fear. But also, because I'm working in a front-facing position within the convention, I get to interact with the community that goes to the convention, and some of the people that I met are absolutely wonderful. The artists at the 2024 Aurawra were absolutely wonderful. They donated so much to charity, kind of like excessive amounts. I don't think I have any photos anymore, but they essentially gave us all of their prints. They had a D&D blob container from, I believe, the film that they've filled with a whole bunch of stuff from all of the artists in the den, and honestly it was just amazing. They're genuinely wonderful people. Majority of what I do in the community, of course I do my art and I do what hopefully will be my full-time business, fingers crossed, but I do a lot of charity stuff and a lot of convention stuff, and I love it, and I'm always looking for more opportunities to put my hand up, to volunteer, to help out and whatnot, because I honestly love it. No, I will admit, it's not for everyone, and it's a very kind of mundane and boring side of the fandom, but you know, someone's got to do it. Someone has to do the back end and the paperwork to facilitate meets and events and conventions. And honestly, it's not a very openly spoken about area of the fandom, and a lot of the time it kind of is a bit of a thankless job. I love the fact that Aurawra very much proudly advertises their staff. We have a whole page on their convention. I have gone through our US convention pages and I haven't really found much about their staff, and I know that this is probably due to the fact that they have massive staff bodies, but at least being with a smaller kind of convention, you do get like a little bit of gratitude and a little bit of thanks for the work that you put in. But I understand that, you know, from the outside, if you have never interacted with someone who has done event work and stuff, it seems really thankless, and for the most part it is. You're kind of just doing the back end of work, and people just show up to the convention and spend their money and do whatever else, and they don't really pay any mind to you unless they know you personally. But even then it tends to just be like, oh hey, you're my friend. But that's just a little bit about what I personally do in the fandom. There are lots of different things people do in the fandom, even just within the community and within my convention staff alone. There are so many people who do so many different things. You know, there's people who found gaming communities within the fandom. There are people who do like prop making and art, like 3D art. And then there is people who do DJing and who make music and who do all of that. It's genuinely such a broad spectrum of interests and things that you can do that I do genuinely believe that the furry fandom is quite sincerely for everyone. You can be into anything and find your niche and find your people. And for me, that is doing art, doing my charity work, and sometimes dressing up as a giant fluffy dog. But I love you all, and I'll see you in the next one.